Yo, welcome back. It's Adam, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a pair of true wireless earbuds I gotta say are the best true wireless earbuds I've ever tried, and that goes for anything I have tried on the channel and some true wireless earbuds I haven't even reviewed. But with the AirPods Pro out there, with Sennheiser Momentum 2s, with JBL Reflect Mini ANCs, and everything else I reviewed, it hands down goes to the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds. Now, I don't remember exactly how many earbuds or headphones I've reviewed on this channel, but I have to say, there's one particular reason, and I'm just going to give it to you right away, on why these are the best true wireless earbuds, and that's for sure the noise canceling capability. Now, this was a tough reason, or a tough choice to make when it comes to, I would even say, top three best reasons why. But these are so good in every category, I had to pick one, and that's exactly it, is the noise canceling. Despite everything going on, I've used these plenty of times in coffee shops, plenty of times going on walks, plenty of times doing gardening work, and yes, on Sundays when everybody brings out their lawnmowers and just walking around my house while I was doing laundry or the dishwasher was going, doing dishes, whatever it is, cooking, anything that involves that activity of there being a lot of ambient noise. And so far, even over the ear, let me put it this way. The WH-1000XM4s are good, but these are even better at noise canceling than those. And it's not just how much noise they cancel out, it's the way they cancel out the noise that's most important. Because the number one factor on how they're designed is the size of them. They're pretty chunky. I mean, even as I put one in my ear or even two, you can see they stick out right away. And hold on a second, it's activating noise canceling. But my favorite thing about the fit is that they stay in your ears. And it's always hard doing a shake test like that, but it's because of the oval tip and how snug it fits in your ear, and also the earwig, the ear hook. And they actually remind me of the Bose SoundSport Freeze, if you remember these. These came out a really long time ago. I've ridden my bike with these, I've been on plenty of walks and worked out with them a ton. I've really put them through the ringer, and that's why these are probably my new favorite ones, is because Bose sticks with that signature fit of it being snug in your ear, but also staying secure in your ear enough to where, in my opinion, using these for workouts, riding my bike now that the weather's been getting warmer, and going on walks, doing gardening work or whatever, although there is one caveat to that, and it depends on your risk tolerance. If you want to risk riding your bike with them with transparency mode and this and that, is that risk of it can still fall out, and these aren't cheap. For $279 if you're mowing the lawn and one falls out and I mean, forget it, unless Bose is willing to actually replace one for you. I have no complaints. They seriously are so comfortable, and I would say before getting ear fatigue, usually it takes about 2 hours before I start to feel like I got to take a break from them, and in my opinion, I think that's worthwhile enough. Okay, so far I've covered the ANC, I've covered the fit, and now I'm going to get into the sound. I'm going to take a total different approach when it comes to the sound. Here's what I think about the Sony WH-1000XM4s or Skull Candy or any earbuds where the lows and the mids are the highlight, and that includes the AirPods Pro. The issue with those is I think you're more prone to getting ear damage, and I'm being serious here. I think you're more prone to getting ear damage over the long run using those too loud and too much than using something like Bose. Because Bose, the way they tune their earbuds is you think they don't get loud enough, or you think they don't have enough bass. But when you use these predominantly as your main driver for a month and you go to something like the Sony WH-1000XM4s, you notice those are they're way too strong for your ears to handle. There's too much bass, they're too low, they're too mid-heavy, they're too distorted. In my opinion, it doesn't even matter if they have an equalizer. And that's why I would say these over those WH-1000XM4s in ANC and sound quality. And this is accounting for if it doesn't matter if they're over the ear or in earbuds. That's my take on it, and that's the best way I can put it. There's really no need for an equalizer with these because everything is tuned to the best of its ability when it comes to a soundstage. I mean, there's enough bass to where you feel it in hip hop and EMD. There's enough clarity in rock music to where the guitar doesn't overpower the bass. There's enough detail to where if you're listening to a drummer or jazz or classical music, it almost feels like you're there listening to the music as it's being performed. And that may be over dramatic, but I'm telling you, it's quite an immersive experience. Hopefully that was enough in explaining that. I'm not an audiophile and it's really hard. I mean, I can play it for you, but I don't think that does it justice. These playing into a microphone aren't going to be compared to actually using them. The sound just won't come through. But when it comes to the microphones, speaking of that, let's get into a microphone test to see how these do for calls. All right, first microphone test is in my office. The only thing going on here as far as noise is maybe a slight echo, and also the air vent, the heat is on right now. As far as self voice goes, I would say high is definitely the setting to use if you are in a loud environment. Otherwise, you will sound like you're yelling on the phone for the other person. You can turn it off if you just don't like it at all. But for me personally, on the medium setting is a happy medium, funny enough. All right, now we're moving on to a coffee shop ambient noise test, and it's really, really loud. One thing I am noticing off the bat is self voice is still really good, and the ANC is somehow still fighting to really block out a lot of background noise. Now, they're not as good as the Bose 700 microphones, but there's more microphones in those, and that's a bigger pair of headphones, so it's kind of unfair. But these do perform exceptionally well. I'm pretty surprised at how clear and how natural sounding the side tone feature, the self voice as they call it, where you can hear yourself on a call, and how you can actually adjust that. Because when earbuds don't have that, I don't want to make phone calls with it. Let's get into the standard default controls of these. These are just what comes standard. You can slide up or down for volume up, volume down on the right earbud, play, pause, and skip and go previous track by pressing once, twice, 3 times. You can cycle through your favorites if you customize in the app of levels of noise canceling you would like. But if you just double tap, it seamlessly cycles through transparency off and then a level 10 for noise canceling. And yes, you can use each earbud independently. I know that's a shocker for a pair of earbuds like this, but yes, you can use the left or right earbud solo. Battery life on these is 6 hours with the earbuds with ANC on, 12 hours with the case, USB-C, and 2 wireless charging. The charging is really quick as well. I didn't experience any issues with it. Now, the flaws of these, I'm surprised I haven't mentioned any flaws by now. That wasn't intentional. Biggest flaw is the big case. Second biggest flaw is the fit of them. When it comes to the fit of them, I mean, think about it. They're not going to be strong enough to where if you're riding downhill on a Fuji with your bike and a lot of wind catches them, I'm willing to bet they're going to fly off. And I'm just going by my experience of riding around on my bike with them or going for walks or working out with them. Eventually, you will run into that risk of losing an earbud unless you're doing stationary stuff. These are stationary earbuds. You can tell by the way they fit. They're meant for if you are working out of them, in my opinion. I probably wouldn't do CrossFit in them. I probably wouldn't do gymnastics, that's for sure. And I obviously wouldn't go swimming in them or anything like that. But without elaborating too much, if you're doing basic workouts, if you're doing things that do involve a lot of movement, you should be fine, but you may have to adjust every now and then. But it's a slight adjustment. It's not like they're just going to fall out and that's it. You will start to feel it coming out. And on top of that, when it comes to the microphones are good, as you heard, for phone calls, but the microphones also with the ANC are pretty affected by wind. Whether you're on a call or you're outside for a walk or whatever it is, the wind is pretty sensitive, and when you're using transparency mode, that wind does come in through the mics pretty strong. So that's another one of those flaws where the overall experience of it isn't terrible, but it's just something I noticed. So at the end of the day, it's obvious that I think these are worth it for the price. For $279, best ANC. I love the call quality experience. I love all the features, and I really don't mind the look of these. The sound on top of that is just, it's really hard to compete. So that's my take on these in my review. I really hope this was helpful to good health. I hope all is well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one.